So I'm here with the one and only Cleveland. How are you today?
I'm doing magnificent. It's a beautiful day here in sunny South Florida. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Blessed and highly favored. So first, I want to make two plugs. One, Augie, I had already told him that I wanted to record with him, and we set something up last year, but we got so busy we weren't able to connect. So we're like for the beginning of the year, we want to get it on the calendar. We want to make sure we get it happen. And I loved your story. I didn't hear a whole lot about it. I heard it from Augie personally. So I was like, man, this is a bright young man excited about real estate. So tell us a little bit about who you are, how you got into real estate, kind of introduce yourself, and then I'll introduce myself for those who don't know. I'll just go now. I'm Danielle Brown. I'm with SVN Saunders, Ralston, and Dancer here at the Lakeland, Florida location. So I'm excited to be here. I'm a commercial advisor, just a fancy word for saying I help people find properties and land and I connect buyers and sellers together. So that's a little bit about me. And I'm new. I'll be a year at the end of January. So excited about that milestone to say I've come to make it for almost a year. So tell us about you.
Well, before I say anything else, you said a year and you said new. You're no longer new.
That's
I'll
right.
tell you that. You are an expert. You are a
I like
professional.
it. I like it. I like
That's right. That's right. So for me, my name is Cleveland Sainpreux. I'm with SVN Commercial Partners, and I'm here with my managing directors, Scott and Ashley. I predominantly work with the ROI group. We focus on retail, office, and industrial.
Nice.
I specialize more on the retail and office side, and as well, I focus on just getting buyers and sellers together. So that's what I do as well.
So tell us a little bit, and for those who are watching, this is going to just be like a conversation, just like an informal type of interview. So I'm going to be asking Cleveland several questions. So feel free to ask me some as well. So what were you doing before real estate, and kind of why did you choose to get into real estate? Like, how did you get into commercial real estate at that? Why not residential?
Yeah, well, the story goes like this. Pretty much back, I would say like in 2018, I was working for a recruiting firm. And after the recruiting firm, I said I wanted to get my my real estate license. After talking to my uncle, he said, "Hey, listen, if you want to get wealthy, I recommend that you get your real estate license." And he's actually an investor. He owns a
Nice.
few residential properties, and he's pretty well off. So I took his advice. I got my license literally within 6 months of that conversation, and then after that, I went right into my 9 to 5. My money was drying up, and the well was drying up,
That's
and
real.
I
That's
said,
real.
I gotta save up. I'm a family man. I have a wife, 5 kids. I can't just take these large risks without definitely calculating them. And so, we saved for about 3.5 years. And then eventually, once we had the amount, about 8 to 12 months saved up, we decided to make the leap
Yeah.
of faith and jump into commercial real estate. So that's pretty much my journey. But before your other question was, how did I get into commercial? The
Mhm.
entire time, I would say for the 3.5 years, me and my wife were talking about getting into residential real estate.
Mhm.
And so over the years, we're just talking about it. And eventually, when we made the move, I made a post on LinkedIn. I went on social media telling my friends and family that I'm going to get into real estate and just to make, my mark and do some marketing. And eventually it got out. And one of my good friends from a previous job reached
Nice.
out to me and said, "Hey, Cleveland, listen, I understand you want to get into real estate. However, I want you to join my team. I know how hard you work. I know
Mm.
how you're a family man, and I want you to join my team." And his name is Elon Gerberg, my partner. And I trust Elon, and so I went into the office. I had a conversation with Scott and Ashley and him, and we decided that this would be a really great fit for me in this time. So yeah.
Nice, nice. You touched on something super important, which you said you guys already had a savings. So, for those, could you, one first, explain what commercial real estate is? I talk to a lot of people and I'm like, I'm in commercial real estate, and they're like, what is that? Like, so for those, we have a newbie, they've never heard about commercial. All they know is residential. They didn't know was commercial side. So what would you tell that person? What would you say commercial real estate is?
Yeah, commercial real estate, unlike residential focuses on housing people and dwelling. And for commercial, on the other hand, it focuses on businesses. And so, when you're talking about commercial space, you're talking about retail, office, multifamily, warehouses. You're talking about, hospitality. So there's multiple different assets. So anything where you're not living in, right,
Sure.
where you have people living. However, of course, you have multifamily and hospitality, which is still considered commercial, but there's a business aspect and there's an investment aspect that comes along with the commercial side. So yeah, I would say commercial real estate focuses on the business and investment side where there is a return on investment.
I love it. I love it. I think that's so good. I know before I got into real estate, I didn't know a thing about real estate, and all I heard was residential, residential. So I went to YouTube University and learned everything that I could about commercial, and that's kind of how I got here. And short plug, really quickly, my pastor from my church. We have a MLK annual banquet. It's coming up again this year, and I went there and he said, why don't you just connect with the mayor and see who he does his commercial deals with for the city of Lakeland. And I'm like, you're just so smart. You're brilliant, man. That's excellent. So I connected with him. He's so down to earth, Mayor Mutz. And he was like, yeah, I do all of my deals with Colliers, and I also do my deals with SVN, Saunders, Ralston, and Dantzler. And I was like, SVN? Who's an SVN? Like, I've never heard of them. And he said, see if Todd is still there. Connect with Todd. So I called Todd, like he was my best friend from 11th grade. I was like, hey Todd, how are you? He's like, hello, who is this? I was like, this is Danielle. He's like, do I know you? I was like, no, but you will one day. I'm like, I'm looking to get into commercial real estate. When can we meet? And he's like, hey, I'm out of the office. It's Friday. I'll be back on Monday. Can you come in at 1 o'clock? I was like, I'll see you at 1 o'clock sharp. And that's kind of how I, made my path into to commercial real estate. I would say I knew somebody that recommended somebody. So yeah. What would you say to someone who is brand new, they're coming into commercial real estate, and what would be the three things that you would tell them right off the bat?
Um, the first thing I would say is preparation. Before you come into an industry, you definitely want to do your homework, um, you know, expect, to work really hard, and expect to put in a lot of hours. Expect that you might not even receive your first paycheck in, maybe 12, 24 months, right? So it's going to require a lot of preparation, and it's very important that you prepare and count your costs. Count the costs is what I like to say. Saving, like if you heard my story just now, me and my wife, we saved for 3.5 years just so
Mm.
we can have a shot at 12 months of commercial or real estate. So
That's so
one,
real.
yep, it's preparation. Is asking around, just like what you did, asking around, doing research, going to YouTube University, and making sure that you're able to do that. Um, can you still hear me?
Yeah, it's that is the cue for the office that the lights have went out. So
Oh, okay.
so they will come back on for actually me pause this. Yeah, I can pause this recording. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, sorry about that, guys. I do apologize. My office, every couple of hours, the lights will go out. They're very efficient and effective of saving money, so we appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. To pick up from where I was talking about preparation. Like if I was to talk to a new commercial agent, I would tell them prepare, prepare, prepare.
Mm.
Those are the three things: is to prepare your mentality. Ask people what is the business. So what does it look like? Go on YouTube University and ask around. Um, After you prepare, like I mentioned, another part of preparation is save. You do
Mhm.
have to have some level of savings, or if you don't have savings, you need a support system, either a friend or family member that's able to, provide some level of income, or you join a team that's able to help you during your time where you're not making income. That's very important because this business is a marathon. It's not a
Mhm,
sprint, right? And so while you've been in relationships with these property owners and investors, it's going to take some time. It may take 6 months
mhm.
to 12 months just to build a really good relationship with an investor or so. And it's very important to, you know, have that money set aside while you're building
Right.
relationships.
I feel
So,
like that's such a great key that you have. That was one of the first things that they asked me when I was interviewing them. And for those who don't know, we interview our brokers as we come into real estate. It's very different from other jobs. We check and see if we feel like this is going to be a good fit for us to plug into. So when I was interviewing them, they stopped me. Todd stopped me and said, "Wait. Do you have a spouse or who like who's supporting you?" And I said, "Oh, my husband supported me." And he's like, "Does he get a paycheck?" I was like, "Yeah, he gets a paycheck." Why? He was like, well, in this industry, just as you mentioned already, you alluded to already, you may not see a paycheck for 6 months. You may not see a paycheck for 2 years. You may not see a paycheck for 3 years. And I think that I was like, oh no, that won't be me. But the reality is, we are building a business, and this is a different type of business. Like you said, we're running a marathon. We're not running a sprint. So a lot of what we do is we connect with people. Like I'm building a lot of networking partnerships right now. And the first thing that I don't want to do is say, hey, sell your property to me. No, how are you doing? Hey, I'm new in the business, or as you would say, not, I'm an expert in the business, new to your side of the town, and I want to let you know I'm here for all of your real estate needs. So, and then out of that may come a deal, but it may not come for a month. It may not come for 2 months. It may not come for a year. So we really do play the long term game. So I think that's super important. So tell us about the money. I hear they say that the money is good in commercial. What would you say to that? Like I'm just joining because I heard y'all make big dollars. What would you say to that question?
oh, that's why we're here. That's why we're here, baby. It's funny that you mentioned money because as you may not know, like years ago, I told my wife, listen, I want to buy a plaza. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I want to buy a plaza. I want sustainable income. I want to be able
Yeah,
to have enough wealth to take care of our family
the five, yeah, the
without me
wife.
thinking about when's my next paycheck,
Yeah.
especially in the corporate world when yes, uh, it's very consistent. Your paycheck is consistent every week, every 2 weeks.
Mm,
However, you never
month.
know when you might be pulled into the office and somebody says, "Hey, sorry, you're a great worker. However, we just don't have a spot for you anymore." And
Wow,
and uh,
so real.
and commercial real estate allows me to have that opportunity where I have my destiny in my hands, where I can say, "Hey, look, I'm going to work really hard, and if I work hard enough, and if I have enough time, I should be able to produce enough income to provide
Hmm.
a sustainable income." So it is a lucrative business. To answer your
Yeah.
question, you can make a lot of money in commercial real estate
Mm,
once you build these relationships, but that when you make a lot of money, it's because you built a lot of relationships where
yeah.
people trust you to close business and to be that market expert. And so for me, listen, you can be well off in the six figures if you're closing consistent business. And in
Mhm.
fact, my managing director, Scott, said, listen, Cleveland, if you're not making over six figures, you're just not doing commercial real estate right.
That's
Right.
right.
And,
That's right.
and so I took that at heart. And that's one of the things that I said, I want to be good at this, not just average, but I want to be great.
That's great. That's great. I really love that mentality of being great and not just being average. That was something that during my process again when I initially first started, and they were like, what's your goal for the year? And at the bottom, breaks down what you can make and how much your split will be, and it seemed like less than 90. And he was like, you should be able to hit that your first year or your second year. And I was like, oh right, of course, $90,000. That's light work, of course, yeah. But now that I'm really in the industry, I'm like, oh, yeah, that is light work. If you are working hard, you are putting the time in, you are grinding it out. And I'm all about working more efficient and more effective than working harder. So that's my thing. How can I work more efficient and work effective? I don't even say I work hard. I'm like, I work smart. I want to work smart. I want to learn how to do things, get systems, put them into place, have them running for me so that, like you said, bring in that wealth not just for myself, but for our families. And I think that's super important. So talk a little bit about what is it's like to be a minority. What it's like to be a minority in commercial real estate.
Uh, it's interesting. I have to say, when I first got into the business, I didn't realize how, there's not a lot of minorities. There's not a lot of black people. Let me just say that. There's minorities here, right? There's minorities in the business. And when I say minorities, there's all kinds of people with different
Yeah.
backgrounds and ethnicities. But when it comes to like the color side or complexion, you just don't see it. There's not a lot of brown or black people in the business, and I don't have a particular reason why, but I can tell you that there's a lot of opportunity
Hmm.
for commercial real estate in this space, in this industry, for people of color to have space and uh, make money here. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, with you asking me, I want you to share with me what have you seen on your end in regards to color and diversity.
Oh, that's great. Well, I love my company. I think it's fabulous. I think it's great. Currently, right now, I am the only African American in this office. I know there are plenty more, around. Because if you guys don't know, my office is the number one office out of SVN, as well as we have some local offices as well, and he's with a different SVN office. No, that ain't no, we're not throwing nothing, no shade or
You have
nothing.
to throw that in there,
I'm
right?
not
Hey.
doing no shade or nothing. So, most of the people that I work with, they are Caucasian males, and we do have a couple females here. I think we have one, two, three, four, five, maybe five sales advisors that are women out of the 40 or 50 men that we have. And like I said, I'm the only African American in general in this particular office. I don't let color stop me. I am not a person who is going to be like, oh, okay, I'm black. So because I'm black, I can only make $500,000, or because I'm black, I can only make $30,000. No, God purposed me with this color. He purposed me to be light skin, black, whatever you want to call it. I'm tall enough, thick enough. He created me just as I am. So I love what you said. We have this opportunity, and I think some people don't look at it as an opportunity. They get afraid and say, well, nobody's doing it, so I shouldn't do it. No, that's the perfect opportunity, because we need more people like us in this industry to do it. And I think that we're trailblazers to, I'm looking for more people to come in here and set a tone and set a way to let them know, hey, we can be professional. We can cut deals just like you can cut deals. So I think it's just super important to let people know, like, hey, we need to make ourselves presence, because there is opportunity here. And I think another thing is that with African Americans, I don't think that they really have the mentality sometimes to know that they can have this wealth. Like, you can be a multimillionaire, you can be a billionaire, but even storing it well and getting into spaces where other millionaires, are. I'm around millionaires all the time, to be honest, to be quite frankly. So that tells me, if it's 7 millionaires in this conference room, eventually I'm gonna be number 8. I'm gonna be number 9. So I want to be in those spaces where these people are. So I haven't let color color bother me. I do see some faces when they come to the office and they said, "Oh, you're new." Meaning, like, I haven't seen you before, and I'm just like, "You're right. You just haven't seen me before." And I don't let the color bother me. I've had one conversation with somebody, and they more so alluded to the fact that I was a woman. I didn't even think I was African American. Like, oh, I hope you don't have it hard being around all these men, and I know that they can not be as sensitive to your needs and stuff. And I was like, what? No. And they were telling me that they're treating me like I don't even know. I probably never shared this, to be honest. They're treating me like a staff and not like a sales advisor. But I felt like the Lord was telling me that that was negative words. That was negative words. And nothing
Mhm.
against this particular person. I
Mhm.
just didn't receive it in that manner.
Mhm.
And I think what I learned from that, and she's great and she's awesome, and she was just trying to look out for me. But I have to also be mindful to know that, even in her intentions of looking out, that I can't let that resonate in my mind. like, oh man, they are treating me just like staff, or they are just no, like I come in here and I have to work hard just like everybody else, or work more smart, or work more efficient, just like everybody else. And at the end of the day, I feel like I have get nothing but love from Ty, get nothing but love from Dean, get nothing but love from Gary. So in the industry as an overall, I think that I honestly, if I see racism, it probably just goes over my head because I don't acknowledge it. I don't even entertain it. And I get right in your face and say hi. Hi, I'm Danielle Brown. It's a pleasure to meet you. So even if you are, I think you're just going to push past it after a while. Like, okay, she's just a nice person. And I think
Right.
even with it being MLK month, that we need to just be intentional. Like, we
Mhm.
should be past that at this point. And I know that some people are not, but concerning myself, I love all people, all color. And at the end of the day, money is green.
Right. I definitely want to touch on that when it comes to loving all people, because
Mhm.
both you and I are people of faith, and
Yeah, absolutely. We
as
love
people of
Jesus.
faith, we believe in God. I love people.
Right.
Period. I don't
Period.
care what your color or whatever. I love you, and
Hmm.
that's what I have to do. I have to behave that way. And I'll tell you this:
Yeah,
when I first walked in through these doors, I felt loved by my peers. My peers
exactly.
and the people and my partners. And I tell you, my partners, Scott, Ashley, when I came in and sat down with them, I didn't feel any type of way. I didn't care if I was black,
Exactly.
white. I felt like I was part of the firm. So it
Yeah.
didn't really matter. So sometimes when you think too much about color, sometimes you might shy away, and
Right.
you might run away from an opportunity because
Right.
you see that,
You
hey,
put a limit. You put a limit on yourself.
you put a limit on
You put
yourself.
a limit on your own self. Right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And I've sat down with investors. I sat down with owners. I've sat down with people with high worth. And they're people.
Right.
They just have bigger pockets and bigger bank accounts, but they're people, and I'm gonna love them just like the next person who's scrubbing
Hmm.
toilets or who's not making six figures or seven
Yes.
figures. I'm just gonna love you, and if you feel like you want to do business with me, you're gonna do business with me
Regardless.
because I'm good and I'm excellent, not
Right.
because I'm black,
Right.
but because I'm actually gonna help you invest and
Hmm.
make more money, right?
Right, right. And I love it. And that's just as you said it. People are doing business with us because of who we are. Like you meet me, you meet my personality, meet all that, I am composed of, and that's why you want to do business with me. The fact that I'm black is just to me is like a bonus. Great, awesome. And I think we are just setting, like I said before, setting a pathway for others to come in and say, you know what, Cleveland's doing it, Danielle's doing it. It doesn't matter. We can go ahead and do it as well. So I know we have to wrap up. It is a Friday evening for those who don't know. We both have families, so I don't want to hold them too long. You heard me say got five kids. So obviously either he loved his kids or he really loved his wife. At the end of the day. So what would be something to just that you would leave the people with? And I know you talked a little bit about your personal goal to eventually have a plaza. But tell me one of your goals for this year and how you're going to get there.
Um, my goal this year is to close my first deal.
Yeah.
You know, um,
And if
I,
you, how
I
long you
want to
been in
say,
the
look,
in the industry? For those who don't know,
say it again.
tell them how long you've been in.
Oh yeah, I've been in the industry for 8 months right now.
He's been in for 8, and I've been in for 11 and some change. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So I want to stay in the industry. I don't want to go anywhere else. I love what I do, and I cold call and meet people all the time. And so I want to just stay in commercial real estate. But there's challenges that come up. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm smelling roses every single day. Like I said, I saved up for 12 months. I'm coming up on my 12 months. I got 4 months left. However, at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep pushing. If I don't
Yeah.
even make it, at least I know I put every single piece of energy into this business,
Hmm.
and I know I got my partner Elon Adam. I got my entire team rooting for
Yeah.
me, and
Absolutely.
I'm just here like, look, I got to make it happen. I got to make sure that I do my part,
Yeah.
and if I know that I put every single bit of energy and effort into it, then I know that I left I didn't leave greens on the table, as one person said, right? No opportunities on the table. With that being said, I just want to throw this in there. With SVN, I did get Rising Star. Rising Star
Nice.
means I'm a rising star in the business. This is one of the trophies that I receive in regards to coming here every single day, working really hard, and
Nice.
and they recognized it, and I appreciate them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hard work,
Can I give
hard
you
work is seen.
a little heart
Hard
up
work
here?
is seen.
Yeah, give you a little heart. Yeah, a little heart.
Yeah, so hard work is
And I
seen.
just want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate you. When I say this man encourages me, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Whenever we do, we kind of try to do a weekly chat or catch up once a month or whatever it is. And I'm like, "How are you doing?" It doesn't matter what he's going through. He's like, "I'm about to get back on the cold calls." I'm like, "Dang again?" Oh, he's like, "Yeah, I bust out 75 a day." I'm like, "You bust out 75 a day?" I'm trying to bust out 75 for the week, 75 to 150 for the week. You busted it out for the day. So he really encourages me. He really helps me to push forward. And honestly, I know that every time I see him working hard and his diligent, it gives me that encouragement. All right, D, you got it. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep moving. You got it as well. So I would just encourage you, and this is as we're wrapping up. Like if this is something that you're interested in, maybe we'll do like a part two. I have some more questions for him, but just to let you guys know that it's available. Take that step in 2023, make that change, come out here, find out information. And SBN is a plug. I'm gonna plug it in for both of us. You can go to his office, you can come to mine. We have an office in Orlando. Wherever you are, come check us out. It's a great place to work. It's a great team to be around, and I think you will do nothing but grow. Nothing but grow. But like you said, you have to be prepared. You have to have that I would say that grit, like not don't quit. You might not get a check. You heard him 8 months and he's ready to close his first deal. I didn't close my first one until 10 months. So you just have to know, like you have to stick with it. And we have other people in the office who never closed a check for 2 years. So you can't quit, you can't give up. But I definitely want to invite you out to commercial real estate. If you have any questions, you've got some social media that you can leave for them. You can tell them. I don't like to say if I'm gonna go see the chat if I type it in, or you could type it in the chat if they wanna. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
be able to
you
see.
can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. If you just simply type my name, Cleveland Sainpreux, Sainpreux, you will find me. I'm the only Cleveland Sainpreux in the earth on earth. So I'm telling you, you can't miss me when you type me. Just type me up in Google, and you'll be able to find me.
All right, I put that down, and I am Danielle Brown. I'm usually the advisor on most of all my stuff, but look us up. And I think that this is just the beginning of something I want to do long term. Is just connect with people who are in the real estate business, or who's starting out, so that they can encourage other people to come in. Well, thank you so much, man. I'm excited for your year. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be great. You have an amazing weekend, and enjoy your Monday off because it is MLK. Hopefully, you take that day off. So, anything else that you want to say before we go ahead and start recording?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for having me and taking this time out for us to share our journey.
Yes, yes, yes. No doubt, no doubt. Well, I wish you much success and have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Bye, Danielle.